Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks! Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that has ever done a Christmas episode. And we're not just doing one, we're doing 3. That's right. Each week for the next 3 weeks, 3 different Christmas movies. I'm going to say in quotes 3 different guests, because we're not quite sure on that yet. But first off, we have this week. I'm Dan O'Keefe. Joining me, as always, is Anna Otto. How are you, Anna?
Okay, don't make fun of me, but I was practicing ways to answer this in the bathroom before I started the podcast, and then we were chatting, and I don't remember any of them. So I'm great, Dan. How are you?
That sounds rehearsed. Did you practice that one?
No, I don't know. Probably at some point. Anyway, it's been a long day.
Also joining us today is the world's biggest fan of recently drafted New York Celtic Peyton Pritchard. It's Rome Gandelsman. How are you, Rome?
Love the New York Celtics.
Did I say the New York Celtics?
Love my favorite New York Celtic, Peyton Pritchard.
Where is it? Boston. They're from Boston.
Did
That's
I
right.
say the New York Celtics?
Yeah, do you want to redo the whole...
Oh my gosh. I need to redo my life.
Leave it.
How embarrassing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not redoing it.
Yeah. Since I sent you like 1,000 texts raging about the selection of Peyton Pritchard, I have gone through maybe 7 different changes in opinion between the 2 extremes of next Fred VanVleet and total waste of a first-round selection.
Were you going through the stages of grief?
No, just like super like highs and super lows.
Oh gosh.
Just I'm emotionally volatile as ever.
Also, before we move forward, Rome and I will be starting a podcast where we discuss the prospective rap careers of current NBA players.
Oh my! Is that a thing?
It's a spin-off, yeah.
Enough?
Yeah, it's a spin-off of In Conclusion.
Yeah.
In raps, under wraps. There's your title. Your working title. Basketball.
In rhythm.
Wrapping my ankle. Thinking of sports, come on. This is a brainstorming session.
Anyway, the movie that we're talking about today is the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic? Jingle All The Way.
Classic is a strong term.
It is a strong term. It came out on November 22nd, 1996 for most of the U.S., November 16th if you were in the Mall of America. It was directed by Brian Levant, produced by Chris Columbus, Michael Barnathan, and Mark Radcliffe, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Phil Hartman, Rita Wilson, Robert Conrad, Jake Lloyd, and Jim Belushi. It costs $75 million to make. It made $129.8 million, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it currently has a strong 15%.
I just want to start off this podcast by saying just 2 things. 1, Rita Wilson carried this movie on her back, and 2, rip young Anakin's career. Thank you, the end.
Well, I don't know if I agree with the first point.
I do. That's literally one of my notes. Rita is bae. She carried this movie on her back. Actually, my first note is what the actual fuck, followed by young Anakin, rip his career. And then Gage and I had a detailed conversation in which I called him a Padawan and then changed it to younglings, and he was like, no, he killed the younglings. And I was like, no, but here he is, a youngling. Star Wars.
My first note is Turbo Time Fever Dreams, because that opening sequence is fucking insane.
I literally thought I had purchased the wrong film. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this is not. Arnold isn't in this. What's going on?
I was really confused. I thought it was like the 1990s version of like when they would run a cartoon before the main picture in the 40s or something, and I was sorely confused.
I want you to know just now when I went like this, I was imagining myself as a dancing like soda cup. Because I was gonna sing the song, but then I was like, don't do that, Anna. Don't do that.
Restraint.
It was hard, but I did it.
So, I guess since we're talking about the beginning of the movie, there's no reason to beat around the bush. The movie starts off with basically an episode of the Power Rangers if the Power Rangers were somehow even lower budget. Don't
talk crap about the Power Rangers, Dan.
We see the world's strongest Crimson Chin, Turbo Man, fighting against the Brain, I guess.
No, his name. What is it? Endeavor. I know it because it's the same name as a anime character.
Dementor.
Villain. No.
Dementor?
Dementor!
Yeah.
Maybe that is it? Oh, then that's not anime and I'm just getting my words confused. Whoops, now everybody knows I'm a weeb. Anyway.
Fun fact, the actor who plays Dementor in the opening scene is Richard Mole, who was on the 80s sitcom Night Court. He played Bull Shannon on Night Court, and anybody under the age of 65 just left. It's just me here. I am 74
the Dan
years
O'Keefe
old.
Show.
Don't worry, we're still here, Dan.
I'd like to warn everybody ahead of time. Dan, this is going to be a bitch for you to edit, so I'm going to tell you right now. My allergies are super bad right now, so I might have to cough. It's not COVID. I know you guys aren't in public or in person with me, but don't freak out.
You know that
might happen.
Video conference transmission that everybody's warning about.
I'll spit into an envelope and mail it to you guys. Don't worry.
There have been a lot of new studies about that. It's actually really dangerous.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
Anyway.
I was making a joke about Zoom transmission, not spitting in an envelope. I don't think they've done any studies on that.
You know.
Just to be clear.
I'm going to start the studies on it. Patooey. Send it out.
So, in this opening fever dream, I guess, as Rome described it, it's Turbo Man basically fighting Dementor and saving the president and the president's daughter.
And there's that pink tiger thing. I don't remember what its name is, but it was so weird looking.
Booster.
So ugly.
Booster looked like something out of Spy Kids.
He did.
Yeah.
It was like a Spy Kids Furby.
Sure.
Definitely thought you were going to say a Spy Kids furry, but that's a different podcast, right?
No, it's probably the same podcast.
Yeah, okay.
And it's then revealed that this fever dream is actually just a TV show being watched by young Anakin Skywalker, known to very few as Jake Lloyd, which is his actual name. Precocious as ever, about as good of an actor as you would expect a 7-year-old Anakin Skywalker to be.
I'd like to
3
say
3 years prior to his starring role as young Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 1, The Young Anakin Skywalker Story.
that is not what it's called. Thank you. I don't remember what it's called. And when Gage listens to this episode, I don't know when, I don't know where, but he's going to find me. I mean, we live in the same apartment. It won't be that hard. He's going to find me, and he's going to tell me what it's called and go, duh, or something like that, because I know exactly what... Oh. He's going to be like, you're not worthy to shower in our shower with the Darth Vader shower head. And I'll be like, I bought it. It's fine. But anyway.
You have a Darth Vader shower head?
Yeah. I bought it for Gage for a show. That was his gift. I was like, you were great in this show. Here's a Darth Vader shower head.
Does the water come out of the mouth?
No, it comes out of his eyes. So I bathed in the tears of the Sith Lord.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's
I just want to say, I think it's like, there's like this disturbing image that came into my head just now of like somebody who ended up casting by the way, it's the Phantom Menace.
There it is. Thank you.
Who ended up casting the Phantom Menace, who like saw Jingle All the Way and was like, that's the kid.
I mean,
that is young Anakin right there.
he is so stinking cute. The amount of times I said that while watching this movie, I was like, he is just so cute. It just makes me want to scream. Like, I don't really like kids that much. Generally, kids are not my thing. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening. But he's adorable, and I just want to pick him up and just squeeze him. I don't know, but then now I know, like, he's an adult with, like, a record, and, like, his face never matured.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, he's in... I mean, I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna just go ahead and place some blame. I think the Star Wars fandom ruined his life. Anyway.
Probably.
Yeah, probably the hate more than the fandom.
Yeah. Like, some people are toxic, man. Treat others the way you want to be treated, even if they're an actor and you think that they're not real people.
Rough stuff. He was just a child. He really shouldn't have gotten much of the blame there.
Yeah, and he was so stinking cute!
Calm
When
down.
I was little, well, I can't. My ovaries, Dan. I don't know what's happening to my body. This is usually an emotion I reserve solely for puppies. I don't really know what I'm doing right now. But anyway, yeah, I could spend the whole time talking about how just enamored I was with the adorableness of this actor, but that's creepy. And anyway, I just wanted to smush him. Thank you, the end.
Before we have to bleep out most of the rest of this podcast for sexual explicitness, let's keep going.
Sexual. It's not sexual. You know that thing where it's like when you see something that's so cute, you just want to like almost cause harm to it because you don't know how to react?
Sure, I know exactly what you're talking
That's the feeling I get. Like, it's so cute that I'm like, oh my god, if I had a child, I'd want him to look exactly like that, and like I just like vibrate. But anyway.
You want to go all like Lenny from Mice and Men on it.
Yeah,
or just like squish him.
Yeah, squish
him. Totally.
Anyway, now that that's done.
The
Please
only
edit
thing
that out,
cuter...
Dan.
No, the only thing cuter than Jake Lloyd in this film is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
False, but fine.
Minnesota mattress
Freaky,
salesman Arnold Schwarzenegger, whose character's name is Howard Langston. Maybe the most unrealistic thing of the whole movie. A man of that
sounds very
stature.
Austrian.
Does it?
He did not even try to hide. I know it's like his signature, but they didn't even give him like a slightly German-sounding name because of his accent. You know, they couldn't be like, okay, let's change his last name from Langston, I don't know, to Otto. What a great German last name that is, you know. Howard Otto, what a great name.
You know, I had this thought until like the last sequence of the movie where I was like, why Arnold? Of all the dudes they could have cast, why Arnold? It didn't add up.
Yeah.
At the end, it like kind of made sense because he kind of, I guess, needed a buff dude to pull that off. But for most of the movie, I was like, why?
Okay,
why?
You cast Rita Wilson as the wife. Does she not come with a talented husband in the package deal? Could we not have placed Tom Hanks in? That would have caused some sexual awakenings and stirrings, Dan, if you want to talk serious about that. Young Tom Hanks. Boom. Done. End the podcast. Thank you. I've cast the film. I'd like her.
How about young Chris Parnell? That was strange to see. That was really weird to see. He was also being incredibly strange, which is not that far out of his normal, reputation, but it was something else.
I watched this movie with Anna Horst, and while we were watching, I was like, do you recognize that guy? And she's like, no. And I was like, that's Chris Parnell. And she's like, that doesn't mean anything to me. So I showed her a picture of him present day, and she was like, oh my God, he looks so much better now. What happened? Because he's like wet in this movie for some reason.
Gage pointed him out to me too, because I didn't know who it was. Because he's like, well, like you Archer, 30 Rock, whatever. And I was like, I have face blindness for actors, Gage. Come on, you got to be more specific. But yeah, he looks. I mean, time really worked its magic on him. I'll say that. I think he looks better now.
I can only hope that I'll be one of those people who gets hotter as they age.
Mm-hmm.
If my dad is any indication, I'm on like a pretty steep decline any minute now. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Poor fella.
I still get asked what high school I'm going to, so I better get hotter and more mature looking. I can do the hotter part myself if God will just grant me the maturity. You know what I'm saying?
Like emotional or physical?
A little bit of both. I like Rome. We've never met before, so he laughs at all my jokes.
It's not that. Just good jokes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's gassing me up. Keep him
God.
around. Dan's like, what have I done?
Dan's like, why is my friend being nice to somebody else?
Right?
He's never nice to me.
Yeah, and
All he does is make fun of my sandwich choice.
okay, my sandwich choice is a plain ham and cheese sandwich on white bread from Jimmy
Thanks,
John's.
Dan.
That's all
We
I
just-
want.
We just
That's all I
lost
want.
all our listeners because of you.
What? I like ham. I like cheese. I don't like a lot of other fixins on my sandwich. Those belong in other places, in burrito bowls, in salads. I'll eat those, but on my sandwich, I just want meat and cheese.
Oh my God.
Just leave it alone, Anna. Just leave it alone.
I'm-
It speaks for itself. Nothing needs to be said.
Okay.
When I told
okay.
Rome bought me a sandwich to pay me back for something, and when I told him my order, I think his first reaction was just to stare at me blankly, and then it like hit him that was my actual order, and he just went, "No."
No,
No.
I think what first happened is he said, "I want a slim one," and I said, "What the fuck is a slim one?" Because I would never order something with only one meat and one cheese.
I would never order
Well-
a sandwich with the word slim in it. I'd be like, give me that fat number one. Put
100%.
more is more.
100%.
But no lettuce. I don't like lettuce on sandwiches.
Disturbing development.
Spinach
But here we
only.
are, still friends, all these years later.
So basically, the main reason that Arnold Schwarzenegger is a bad husband is because he's such a workaholic. He's such a good guy to his mattress customers that he doesn't have time for his son. He's always showing up late to his karate tournaments or whatever they're called.
And that's why Anakin turned to the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
He's forgetting to buy his presents on time. He doesn't spend enough time with his wife, so
She's going to leave him for that Qui-Gon dick, I'm telling you. I'm sorry, I'm done with the Star Wars jokes.
I didn't realize that the Qui-Gon dick was Phil Hartman, the recently widowed neighbor who is just perving on all the neighborhood moms.
God, not even though, because he just wants Rita more because she's not interested, and he's such a skis ball the whole movie. Like, I love it. I love it. It's so funny.
Does he like undo her like apron?
Yes,
and grab
I
her
literally
ass?
took a note about that. I was like, where is it?
Very freaky.
First of all, before I think that's kind of further on in the movie, but I just want to say, there's a point where Rita goes, oh, one more thing, let me just put my boyfriend on blast for one more second. Jamie, little young Anakin's bedroom, Gage's dream bedroom. Our bedroom's halfway to being that right now. The mural of Captain America, if he had his way. Honestly, I'd do it. You know I'm up for something wild like that, but I'd be like, it has to, be...
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway.
It's only lacking the race car bed.
Nah, it's gotta be a superhero bed. Superhero bed spread.
What, so like you're sleeping in the hands of the Hulk? Is it
Oh my
molded
God,
like that?
yes. Because, okay, Mom, turn off the podcast right now if you're listening. That way, anytime we got freaky, I'd be like, time to Hulk smash. Okay, Mom, you can listen again.
Love it. Love any sort of Marvel-related sexual reference. Or Star Wars-related sexual reference. Anything within the Disney umbrella that includes a sexual reference.
Hell yeah.
Excluding some of the animated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. What about Davy
Not all of
Crockett?
Born
I'm
on
not
a
familiar.
mountaintop. And, I just
Is that
put
like is he like a pirate in the sea or something?
Davy
Davy
Crockett?
That's
That's
Davy
Davy
Jones.
Jones.
Different-
Davy Crockett is
Different
like
Davy, sorry.
an Americana person, like coonskin hat, fighting in wars. America.
What skin? Goose?
No,
Goo-
raccoon
coon
skin.
raccoon
Coon
skin.
Like a raccoon tail hat. I don't know why I'm showing you my
Oh.
ponytail. Like it's a.
No, I got it actually after you did that.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, I think that's one of those things that like the minor side effects of having one immigrant parent is like just like missed out on a lot of like the American like things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Gun to my head, would not have been able to. I would have guessed the bottom of the ocean pirate guy 100% of the time.
Halfway there.
Got the first name right. I don't know. That's close enough.
So Arnold is tasked by Rita Wilson to pick up, or he was tasked in the past to pick up Jamie's Christmas present, the Turbo Man doll, special edition. It can fly, it can cook you dinner, it'll tuck you in at night. It's got 19,000 different sayings inside. It'll replace your absentee father. It's everything that a child could want.
Okay, but also when Rita says, "Hey Arnold, can you go buy this for our son?" She goes pick up the DOLL, like young Anakin, who's gonna learn the Force, doesn't know how to spell the word doll.
He's already a green belt in karate. I would assume that he can spell because
It's a purple belt.
those two relate.
Dan.
Sure.
He's a purple. I was like, how old is this kid? 7?
If that.
Yeah,
Probably younger.
I don't know. He was a little baby. He was cute.
I don't know how to tell children's ages.
Me either.
He's between 5 and 10, I think. But I don't know.
He's
Outside of that, I'm
Definitely not in high school.
not sure. Yeah, I agree with that statement.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But this doll is the hottest toy of the season. It's the Tickle Me Elmo of the film. And it
One
actually,
might say,
the movie came out the same year that the Tickle Me Elmo craze happened.
I knew it. Dan, I literally put in my notes, I was like, wait a second. Is this supposed to be about Tickle Me Elmo? And then I also remembered when I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond and that Hatchimals craze happened and people kept coming in like, where are your Hatchimals? And I'd be like, we don't have them. And they'd be like, are you sure you're lying to me? Where are you hiding them? And I'd be like, I'm not hiding them! Don't worry.
I don't know what
Bed Bath.
Hatchimals are. What are Hatchimals?
They're like those eggs that have little robot birds and things in them, and the egg like hatches and a little mystery animal pops out of it.
I thought you said it was a bird.
I think it's a bird. I think sometimes it might just be like a, you know what? I'm going to send a picture in the group chat. I'll post one on the Instagram.
This is probably stupid, but if it's hatch a mole, I would have just guessed the mole came out.
I don't think
No,
moles
hatch a mole, like animal.
Oh.
No, I
Like
think-
Danimal.
Yeah. Ew, oh my god, some of them are scary. Oh, this is a 32-inch, $55 Hatchimal.
Is this just like that thing that you would run under like a faucet and it would like turn into a styrofoam-shaped animal? Is that what you're talking about?
Isn't that a Shrinky Dink?
No,
A what?
Shrinky Dinks involve the oven.
It's just when the water is really cold, Dan.
Here. Oh my god, I'm ignoring you.
That's low-hanging fruit. I apologize.
So while
Okay.
Anna's looking up the Hatchimal, Arnold was supposed to pick up this doll months ago when it was still available. But he didn't do that. He was too busy selling mattresses. So now he has to go on a hunt, go to all these stores to try and find the elusive Turbo Man doll that is what everybody wants, including Sinbad, everyone's favorite mailman. Everyone's
Okay.
favorite 90s comedian and Good Burger villain, Sinbad.
Before we get into Sinbad's performance, a Hatchimal, excuse me, Hatchimals, this is from the website. Hatchimals are an electronic toy encased in a disposable plastic shell. According to Spin Master, the maker of the toy, you have to pick up the egg and rub the bottom to encourage the toy to start pecking at the egg to break through. You can also gently tap the shell and it will tap back. So it's supposed to
This is weird.
be like an actual bird. I mean, I don't encourage you to go around tapping actual like chicken eggs that have chicks in them. But I guess if you like massage the egg. I'm not trying to be funny right now. I'm being dead serious. Fine. If you rub the egg, it like it cracks open. Stop laughing! It's not funny.
It's just like I think it's part of just like being like an adult. You like don't really remember like being a child and the fun of like just like you rub the egg and then an animal pops out. It's just like, why are you touching an egg, you fucking weirdo?
Let me be honest with you. I love a good like mystery toy unboxing as much as the next person who gets confused with an 8th grader does. But this would be weird for me to watch, you know? Like, I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, oh, I don't
Come
like
here, my
this.
child. Come here, my child. Grip the bosom of the egg and rub until it pecks back at you.
Oh, God, no. I would not, ever. I guess, like, I'd be like, don't crack it. Don't crack it like a regular egg. Like, you gotta let it hatch. Like,
Crack it like an angry egg. Crack it over your knee.
oh, God.
That's the only way it'll actually happen.
No. Anyway, Sinbad.
Yeah. What about Sinbad?
His performance is just yelling. Like, you know, I know, okay, the most I'm familiar with Sinbad's comedy is when I see Kenan Thompson do impersonations of him on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
Or did. I mean, Kenan's not on SNL anymore, I don't think.
Yes, he is.
He is.
Is he still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Never
hi
left.
Kenan,
Always
what's
has
up?
been.
I haven't watched a recent episode lately. Sorry, Kenan, I know you listen.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so that's my biggest understanding. But Kenan never yells when he's impersonating him. But Sinbad just yelled the whole time he was in this movie. I was like, my voice is tired just listening to you.
I do have one thing to say about this. There is no difference between those two characters. Somehow, Sinbad's character is like, I think supposed to be framed as like the villain or the bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just also a dad who just didn't buy a present.
Yeah, he's
No
doing the
difference at all.
exact same thing.
Yeah.
Literally, there's no difference, and I don't know why. I just didn't understand, and I was like, both of them just didn't prepare well enough, and then also, at least in Arnold's case, just overextended. The issues are so much smaller if he just says, "Hey, Lil Jamie, I messed up. I didn't get you this doll, and I apologize. And why don't we talk about something else that I can get for you that you would like?"
Yeah, but
Because
Jamie's
he's
already...
clearly comfortable.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Clearly comfortable with buying them all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's clearly comfortable with
Absolutely.
But Jamie's
Clearly.
already been slamming the door in his face in a way that would have gotten
I
me
know.
murdered when I was a youth.
that. What a move.
I would
was
not
like-
have I wouldn't have not even have a door. I wouldn't have a bed.
Oh, absolutely not. My dad threatened to take the door off the hinges so many times, and you know it would have followed through if I slammed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's an insane move to pull. That's reckless.
Slamming the door in your dad's face? Yeah. For a second, I thought you were talking about my dad threatening to take the door off the hinges. I was like, I think that's pretty standard.
No, that's like that's
Yeah.
like the first move.
Meanwhile,
Because of-
some girls replace their doors with bead curtains for fashion.
Those girls are
Vibes.
cowards.
Can't relate. Not relate.
They peaked in high school.
Because of the way that the air movement works in my parents' house, I don't think it was possible for me to slam the door, because the door always gets caught on like a pocket before it closes all the way, so you kind of have to force it closed. So it's I would go to slam it, and it would just like bounce.
Oh.
No, that's a bummer.
I know,
You lose the effect.
right? It's a 70-year-old door.
I was a foot stomper when I was younger. I didn't slam the door, but I'd stomp my foot so hard the whole house would shake. And then I get in big trouble. Ooh, we had some fights, I'll say that much. Ooh, being a teenager was rough.
So Arnold and Sinbad go to a toy store. Rest in peace, toys, or not rest in peace. Rest in
Rest
hell,
in
Toys R Us.
pieces. Rest in pieces.
Where
I don't
they
think
have,
I've ever been to a Toys R Us. Maybe once or twice. Anyway.
Well, too bad. Not going to be able to now.
Yeah, lost your chance.
My
I guess.
mom never took me because she didn't want me to be like, I need this and this and this and this and this. You know? And be like trying to grab everything and have a fit if I didn't get it.
Well, you don't need to be a child to have a fit, because all these adults are having a fit, not being able to get this Turbo Man doll, because the store has one. And the way that they are deciding who gets the Turbo Man doll is they are releasing a bouncy ball into a crowd, and whoever gets the ball gets the right to purchase the Turbo Man doll.
Which is so ridiculously stupid. Like, I can't even begin to... First of all, putting it on bouncy balls. Second of all, why not just first come, first serve like any other situation? Like, if you've been there since, I don't know, 5 p.m. the day before when the door closed and you were waiting in line for it to open the next morning, why should Joe Schmo, who just rolled up after breakfast, not even wearing regular clothes, just showing up in his pajamas from the night before, hair unbrushed, teeth unbrushed, me describing my outfit today, why should he get it?
Because he deserves it, Anna. Just like you deserve it. You deserve a Turbo Man doll.
Thank you, Dan. I do have a Tickle Me Elmo.
You know what? Here's my main issue besides the morality of doing this weird fucking lottery, which makes no sense, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Lord of the Flies was happening in our local malls. Okay, one of many issues. The bouncy ball defies gravity. Mm-hmm. Why is that child in that scene a mute? And why is that child so coy? And why do they seemingly have an understanding of exactly what the fuck Arnold Schwarzenegger wants that little bouncy ball for? And also, was the child a boy or a girl?
They said little girl. They said little girl, but I swear to you on my life, that's what the bowl haircut of the 90s does to you. And you know who had the bowl haircut in 1996? Whoop! Me. So...
Yep, that was the last thing I wanted to say, is that is exactly what creates the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somehow, the bowl cut was just like, for everybody. Anybody could get hit with it. You know what I mean? It could happen to any of us.
It could.
Sad.
No one was safe. Honestly,
no one was safe.
I still feel like no one is safe. So many people still have
It's
bowl
coming
haircuts.
back. No, because like a lot of K-pop stars have a very modern like bowl cut undercut.
Yeah, but just
so
because...
it's coming back, but when the people go to like Sport Clips to get it, they're not getting the $100 K-pop one. They're getting put the bowl over the head and cut around it.
Please, make me look like Jin from BTS. Okay, but like he's got $1 million budget and you've got 5 cents. So, and also you're not an international recording star, but we'll do our best.
We'll try.
So neither Arnold nor Sinbad get the ball, so they have to go on to their next quest, which is...
Radio station.
Well, not quite, because Arnold is moping around in front of Santa Claus and...
Oh, God.
The New York drug dealer elf that he's working with. And then he gets offered to go to their black market Santa warehouse where they are selling Turbo Man dolls out of. And Arnold, being the upstanding father and citizen that he is, says, okay, I'll go.
Yeah, Bad Instinct's following that up.
Yeah.
Stupid move.
Concurrently,
that's a quick way
while
to
that's
get
happening,
robbed and beat up.
Yeah, but concurrently while that's happening, Phil Hartman, the neighbor, is doing his damnedest to get into Rita Wilson's good graces.
Vagina?
That vagina is another way to say that.
Well, this is when the apron thing happens, isn't it? When he is
Yeah.
like, let me undo your apron, and he reaches around, and I immediately, like, my body just tensed up. I was like,
Not even the apron thing. After he does that, he goes, why don't you take a break, go take a shower, and I'll watch the kids for you. Go get in the shower. Get in the shower, Rita
I am
Wilson.
not going to be naked anytime while you're in my home. Never,
Weird.
ever, ever, ever. Because you know he's the kind of guy that if this was an adult movie, not an adult movie like a porn, but like a movie that was rated higher than PG, he'd be like, knock, knock, oops. Like, you know what I mean? He'd walk in.
You
like,
want a cookie? I made cookies.
I got a cookie for you right here. But maybe that does turn it into an X-rated film, doesn't it? But you know what I mean? Like,
they already had the, like, cookie jokes in this
oh, God,
PG
yes.
movie.
They're like,
Put down the cookie!
That's my favorite
Put
line.
down the cookie!
Put that cookie down! Now, those are my cookies!
oh, God, no.
Unbelievable. Terrible.
There are two lines that stand out to me in the film more than anything else. One is put that cookie down, and one is Rita Wilson's Oscar-worthy line reading of Damn you, Howard, with the slow zoom in on her face. Oh,
I love
sad.
her.
I can't believe she was snubbed for this.
God, I
The
love
other thing that
Rita.
was strange about the whole Santa Claus thing is, like, the way that they so nonchalantly did, like, a hostage photo
Yeah.
as, like, proof of having the freaking Turbo Man doll.
God, with the
Like, that day was insane. And they totally skipped by it. It was so weird. And how that doesn't raise a red flag to Arnold is beyond me.
He
No
was
idea.
desperate, man. He's trying to get his kids back in his kid back in his good graces, you know.
Well, also, why are they all working in this black market North Pole dressed as Santa? Why are they all in Santa suits? They can like take them off.
I've decided that my desired aesthetic for this Christmas is Mrs. Claus counting money. Like, that's it. Wig and all.
Also, so the leader of this black market ring is, unfortunately, for society's sake, Jim Belushi. And I say unfortunately because it means we have to watch another Jim Belushi performance. This might be his best, though.
Oh, boy.
I get really upset when According to Jim is on TV because it means that it's taking the spot of literally anything else. I'd rather watch the 700 Club.
Isn't that
the fuck is
religious
that?
programming that's
That's
on
the one on
Sundays?
ABC Family.
Yeah.
I have no idea what program you're talking
It's
about.
religious programming, and I used to get so mad because I'd be watching my stories, and then all of a sudden, they'd be like, the 700 Club is on next, and I'd be like, no! Because it was usually like me watching Seventh Heaven, which is also religious programming.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I love Seventh Heaven. Even though the dad's a creep in real life. Anyway.
The Santa ring is actually selling counterfeit Spanish Turbo Man dolls, which drives Arnold bonkers off the wall. So he has to fight all these Santa Clauses, one of whom is the Big Show from WWE. The Big Santa Claus is played by, in the credits, Paul the Giant White, but his name is more commonly known as the Big Show.
Do you think
Eventually,
that's his stage name? Paul the Giant White? Like, I know the
his,
Big Show
his
is
birth
his
name
stage
is the Big Show?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Perfect. Love that for him.
The Santa ring then gets busted by, they're called the Twin Cities Police because in this movie Minneapolis and St. Paul are the same city.
Well, isn't it Minneapolis, St. Paul? Like, in real life, maybe it could be.
That's the metro area, but technically they're different cities.
Okay.
It gets busted, and Arnold pulls the Rusty at the beginning of Ocean's 11 and pretends to be a cop to get out of being arrested for being involved in the counterfeiting rig.
I just watched those Ocean movies. So good.
Oh,
Holy shit.
So
It's been
good.
years for me. Been years.
Yeah, that is a great movie. It's amazing. Cops are so impressionable. All you gotta say is that you're a cop, and if you say it forcefully enough, they're like, okay, sorry, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Because you're immediately their superior, no matter what.
Morons, yeah. It's amazing.
I'm nodding
What
because
about-
I was yawning at the same time. But ha ha ha!
Subsequent to this, Howard goes to mope at a diner where he is greeted once again by Sinbadington, and Sinbad
It's
tells
Mickey's
him about
Diner.
a rifle. It is
It's
Mickey's Diner.
Yeah, my parents have a picture of Mickey's Diner in their kitchen, and my whole life I thought it was owned by Disney. It's not.
Mickey. I see.
They own most, but not that.
Not that Mickey. That's like, how neat. I didn't know that Disney restaurant was in... Oh my god, and my allergies.
Yeah,
in
that Disney
Minnesota.
restaurant was in your allergies.
Yep. No, but I was like, I didn't know that Disney restaurant was in Minnesota, and then I did a quick Google, and I was like, that's the wrong Mickey. This is a different Mickey. This is like, oh, Mimkey, you're so fine. Oh, sometimes Gage and I add extra M's into words, and that's why sometimes I say things like Mimkey, in case anyone was curious.
Groms. I was saying gross.
Yeah, I got
added
that,
extra
Dan.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed it. I was having a hard time.
You're Groms. Anyway, Mickey's Diner.
So Arnold and Sinbad talk, and Arnold pictures Jake Lloyd as Sinbad, which we love to see. And then while they're there, they're listening to the radio in the diner, and the DJ goes, first caller who can name all 8 of Santa's reindeer gets a free Turbo Man doll. Easiest giveaway in the world. So, of course...
Maybe for some people, Dan, not for others. Okay. Let's be respectful.
Okay, I'm sorry. Easiest giveaway in the world for me. I remember...
For Gentiles.
Yes.
100%.
When I was... I was on the swim team, and our last practice before Christmas, what we would do is a fun, just games, because why not? And one of the games was trivia. And one of the questions that the swim coach asked was, what are the names of all of Santa's reindeer? And I was like, oh, I know this. And I was trying to get the team to be like, no, I know this, guys, you're wrong. I know this. And then the coach got mad at me because I was telling other people they were wrong, because they were wrong and I was right. Moral of the story, I've been insufferable since I was a child.
Checks out.
Yeah.
I'd like to say, first of all, this scene at the radio station. Now, maybe things are different because of the way we're living today in 2020. However, I'm going to go ahead and bet that in 1996, they still wouldn't let you just run into a recording studio.
Mm-hmm.
I bet there would have been a sad little receptionist at the front. Probably has blonde hair with red tips. Maybe it's purple. Maybe she's wearing a pug shirt. She's not going to let you through. She's not going to buzz you in.
Anna, what are you going to do? Are you going to body Arnold Schwarzenegger when he's trying to burst into the
studio? I would
studio?
have absolutely told my attack turkeys to get to business. I was sitting behind an inch of bulletproof glass at that desk. I was not about to let somebody through. Okay, not an inch. That's an exaggeration, but it was bulletproof. It was absolutely bulletproof, though.
Well, the other issue with this scene is they specifically say to call, and they just, they're fighting in a diner, and the diner owner is like, you could just go there. They clearly missed that he's just getting them out of the fucking place.
Oh, absolutely.
They're assholes. And then also, it takes them, over 2 minutes to get there, I imagine.
Yeah, if they're walking.
How is nobody called and, no person has called and has already listed all... that's a bad plan. Somebody's going to call.
Yeah.
I don't care if everybody has a landline. Somebody's going to call. Stupid.
Yeah.
Dumb.
And I would say, they didn't have the internet, so they couldn't look it up as easily, but it's the beginning of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and the people listening to that radio station, it's a Christmas station, I don't doubt it, so they'll have heard Rudolph 8,000 times, so it's burned into their memory that it's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen.
I did have to sing this song in order to remember who it was, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the further you go into the movie, the more useless logic is in explaining what happens.
Yeah, I gotta stop looking at things logically when I watch movies. Yeah. It's just
when we get to the end and the prop for Turbo Man is just essentially an incredibly high-tech, weird version of Iron Man that's, functional. It's just yes, I've accepted this as the way things are. This makes sense.
Gage walked into the movie late, and he did not want to accept that at all. He refused. He's like, that would be so expensive and so hard to use. I was like, Gage, you are preaching to the choir.
Sorry.
I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I support you. I agree with you. There's nothing we can do. This movie's as old as I am.
And yet Arnold Schwarzenegger is still flying around the Twin Cities.
To this day.
Yeah, to this day.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen closely, you can hear a thick German accent yelling, help.
Do you know that he has to go to speech therapy to keep his accent? Because he's been in the U.S. for 50 years.
Yeah.
So to keep his accent that thick and not have it, become more Americanized, he goes to speech therapy for that.
That sounds so weird to me, because I feel obviously, people I know, maybe their grandparents or their parents who are from different countries, like, maybe they did become more Americanized, but I feel like all the people I knew who, like, come from a different country, their accent was still pretty thick even after they'd been here for many years, but that's probably because he's, like...
It's also dependent on who you're, like, hanging out with and interacting with. He's not spending a lot of time with Austrian people.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, I guess
say
you're right.
Knowing his daily life.
Like, I'm thinking about how when I was in high school, a lot of my friends had, like, I had a lot of Asian friends. There's a high Asian population in Franklin. And so a lot of my friends' parents, like, some of them, one or both of them would be from whatever country. But now that I think about it, they were going to church with people from that same country or hanging out. Like, they'd find groups of people who spoke the same native language, and they probably maintained an accent just from being around those people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad was only friends with Israelis, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the DJ's like, you guys didn't think that we actually had the Turbo Man doll in the studio, right? Probably the best logic of the whole movie. Basically, everybody outside of the main characters, I consider them real people. They act like real people. They have, well, aside from the sadist toy store owner who wants to see people die. Mm-hmm. They all act like humans. They're like, why the hell would we have a Turbo Man doll in the studio? No, we basically give you a voucher for one, and you can get it whenever you can get one.
Oh, God, do you know how many times I had to give out vouchers to people as their prize, and they'd be like, this is the prize? And I'd be like, yes. Innumerable. It'd be like a voucher for my state fair tickets, so I have to call the state fair to get them, and I'd be like, absolutely. It's a voucher for a 4-pack of tickets. You want a 4-pack of tickets? Like... Rome, in case you didn't know, I used to work at a radio station.
I'm picking that up now.
Yeah, sorry, I should have opened with that. It's been mentioned on here before, but
I'm sure it has.
Yes,
I've been outed as not an avid listener of the podcast now, which is
wow. Okay, you're not our first non-avid listener, but there's time for change, you know. You and the fiance settle in for a nice night of listening to Dan and I prattle on about something.
Yeah, I know exactly what we're going to put on for Thanksgiving breakfast.
Yep.
You only have like 35 hours to catch up on before this one.
Easy peasy.
Right? You can knock that out in a day and a half.
You could fall asleep to us.
Yeah, plus I could do, 1.25 speed, and then just really breeze through.
I don't know. I heard that some people, talk really fast, so that might be annoying.
Speaking of annoying, the rest of the movie, the way that Sinbad and Arnold get out of the radio station because the cops have been called, because obviously they have.
This scene made me stressed.
He fakes having a mail bomb. He pulls a random package out of his delivery satchel, and he's like, you know what this is? This is a mail bomb.
Second time, too. Second time in the movie he's done this.
He's done this one time before. And the cops are like, well, guess we gotta let him go then. That's how this works. So they let him go, and then the police chief is like, I was on the explosive team for 94 years in my olden job. This, we've been had, gentlemen. This is nothing more than your common, ordinary package. And then it explodes in his face, because it was a mail bomb. Because of course it was. And then Sinbad realizes that there is evil in the world. Little does he realize that he is the evil in the world.
I can't even begin to tell you how physically upset this scene made me. And maybe, again, it's because, I grew up in a time when things like that are actually very serious and you can't joke about stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But watching somebody even joke that they had a bomb made me so physically uncomfortable that I couldn't even, that scene was just so cringy to me. So cringy. I don't know. Maybe this also stems from Anna Otto in therapy. My deep fear of being in public places and, having something horrible happen. Think about it every single time I'm locked into a room. Anyway.
I don't think we can afford your therapy, Anna.
It's like $30 a month. It's not bad.
We don't have enough patrons.
Patrons, if you want to pay for my therapy. Oh, God, that was God trying to kill me. He was like, just stop talking. I'm so embarrassed. You are not one of my creations. Get out of here.
You know who is one of God's creations? Phil Hartman, putting the star on the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rita Wilson Christmas tree, which Arnold
Even as a Jew, I knew that was fucked up.
Flabbergasted, right? I mean,
that's wrong.
You don't go into another man's house and put the tree topper on his tree without permission.
Mm-hmm.
Not a chance.
No.
Arnold sees this through the window, and in retaliation, he goes to break into Phil Hartman's house to steal the Turbo Man doll that he is giving to his son. Mm-hmm. However, when he goes to do that, he realizes that he has a conscience and is like, no, I'm not going to steal a doll. That's terrible.
I'd like to interject for one moment. We breezed past. Sorry, Dan. I know you get annoyed with me. I can tell by your tone.
What tone?
Dan,
what's
you talk
my tone?
like a mom. Like, you have such a mom tone with me. I can tell you're like, okay. I'm like, oh, Dan. Oh, no. I've displeased him. I was just going to say, we breezed past the part where, oh, crap. What's the name? Ted. His name's Ted. Mm-hmm. His kid, whose name I don't know, goes...
Jim Anthony.
Yes. He goes, maybe your parents should just get divorced to young Anakin. Mm-hmm. Because his parents got divorced. And I'm like, oh, the trauma Anakin is going through right now. My God, I just wanted to bring that up because... Or maybe that happens later. Either way, horrifying.
That shit was hilarious.
As
a child of divorce, that is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Because when I got an Xbox after my parents split up, my dad got me an Xbox, I was like, this is the greatest fucking thing that's ever happened. I don't know why I was upset about this.
Oh, no. See, that's like, the two halves of it. Like, I feel like a kid...
What a great move for me.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
awesome.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What a wonderful business decision for young Rome.
If you want to pay for the therapy of all three of us, please follow us on Patreon so we can unpack everything that we've just discussed here.
Actually, we have if anybody knows of a Groupon for therapy, I think we have enough people to redeem it.
Thruples therapy. Let's go, guys.
Arnold has a change of heart, but too bad he gets basically attacked by a reindeer.
Which is so weird.
It's weird. It's stupid. But anyway, they decide to go. The next day happens, and of course they have to go to the holiday wintertainment parade. Which
this is all the same day, isn't it?
Is the parade? Oh, it is all the same day.
Yeah.
It's all the same day, yeah.
They have to go to the holiday wintertainment parade. Of course, Phil Hartman offers to drive and take his son and little Anakin. And when they get there, Phil Hartman makes the Back to the Future Biff to Marty's mom move on Rita Wilson. After sending these 7-year-old kids to the parade alone. Like, go watch the parade.
It was the 90s. You could do that and not have to worry, you know?
Yeah. It's wild, but true.
Different time.
Just
go stand up in the front. Just tell everybody to get out of your way.
Rita Wilson,
my queen,
rejects him. She rejects him,
100%.
Right? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because
good.
He's creeping on her, and she's frustrated with her husband, but that doesn't mean she's looking for a way out.
Mm-hmm.
She threw non-alcoholic eggnog in his face. I'm pretty sure.
Are we sure it's non-alcoholic?
Yeah, he says non-alcoholic because he's driving.
Do we believe him?
I don't know. Eggnog is trash no matter what.
Yeah.
So are you suggesting that he was trying to get her drunk? Because it seems in line with the character.
It fit. I think it fits with him. I am suggesting that.
Oh my God, that's a deeper plot line. We could. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I mean, he's being pretty creepy. It's not that out of line with the character.
Arnold shows up at the parade, tail between his legs, because he's like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to... He kind of has the realization that you wanted him to have, Rome. Because he has to own up to his mistake.
So funny.
But he doesn't
should not have gotten out of this, by the way. This is absurd. He did nothing to deserve the fucking, ending. Nothing whatsoever.
It's exhausting, to be entirely honest.
Oh my god.
He gets to the parade, and he basically gets shuffled into the staging area for the grand finale because the original...
He's running away from the cop again, right? Isn't
he
that
is,
what it is?
yeah, because he...
What, he spilled coffee on him this time, right?
Yeah, he like runs into him and spills coffee on him.
Yeah.
So
Constantly running away from this fucking cop. So absurd. Can you imagine, like, having that many run-ins with one cop in a city, like a normal U.S. city?
Like a bigger city, too. Not even, like, one of the smaller ones. Not even, like, Milwaukee size.
It's insane. Like, to have an interaction with that many police officers and also the same one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. No way. Unbelievable.
Also, the actor who plays the police officer was the main actor on Wild Wild West, which is, of course, a 60s Western.
Oh, why did I automatically think Will Smith?
But it was adapted into Wild Wild West starring Will Smith. They both played the character of Jim West.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
So he's like Eskimo Brothers with Will Smith, except for movies.
Yes.
Sure.
Love that.
So Arnold basically gets forced to put on the Turbo Man costume because the original actor died of dysentery or something, got sick.
No, he had a Spider-Man the Musical episode and was maimed by his performance.
I think the implication is that he was rehearsing in the suit and is like almost brain dead.
Spider-Man the Musical. For those who don't know, one of the guys doing the stunts for Spider-Man died.
Did he get paralyzed? Oh, he died. I thought he just got paralyzed.
Something horrible happened. It wasn't Reeve Carney, though, and I enjoy him, so I'm sad anybody got hurt, but I'm glad it wasn't Reeve, if I'm going to be honest.
He got hurt during rehearsals, during previews.
Yeah.
And, of course, they meant, open the show. The show still opened.
Oh, yeah. And then Reeve played Spider-Man, and then they did a performance at the Tonys, and it was weird because it all took place in a giant web. Bono was there.
Anyway, Jingle All The Way. Arnold, he's in the Turbo Man costume, and he's on the doll, and it's perfect for him. He gets to wave to the crowd. He gets to pretend to be Turbo Man. Everything's all fine and dandy. He finds out that Turbo Man gets to select one lucky child from the crowd to give a Turbo Man doll to, so of course he's going to pick his
Jamie! Can you do it with an accent? Yeah. I can't do it.
Jamie!
Thank you. Which again, nobody realizes he has this thick Eastern European accent. Like, how many dudes in your town? Like, how big is the Austrian and German population? Like,
how many built mattress salesmen with thick Austrian accents live in Edina, Minnesota?
Apparently enough that they didn't recognize him flat out, you know? Also, okay. I'll air my grievances at the climax, okay?
Okay. Well, we're at the climax because
thank God,
Sinbad
I'm ready.
has appeared. Sinbad appears as the villain, as Megamind or whatever his name is. I don't remember.
Dementor.
Yeah, he goes to suck the soul from Harry Potter, but gets stopped
by chocolate.
Instead, just tries to steal a toy from Anakin Skywalker.
So he picks
also
Jamie.
A bad idea.
Turbo Man Arnold picks Jamie to give the toy to, and Jamie's like,
wow,
thanks, Turbo Man. And then a grown adult Sinbad tries to steal a toy from a child, and Anakin tries to escape by climbing up a fire escape and going to the top of a building. Always a great idea. So then we have a fight, basically, between Turbo Man and Dementor, but it's Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's suit, as we stated previously, is a fully functioning Iron Man suit with a jetpack.
And Sinbad's suit is a fully functioning the Dementor suit in which he can shoot off his fists like the character does, but then the hands still work.
And he has, like, batarangs.
Yeah, there's...
He's firing.
Turbo Rang. They're called Turbo Rangs in this one, aren't they?
Sure.
It doesn't flow off the tongue quite like Batarang does, you know?
Sure.
Anyway.
The movie's almost over, and I'm really happy about that. The fight ends with Sinbad dying.
He gets arrested, Dan.
He gets arrested. Because as all holiday parades end with a mailman being surrounded by 14 police officers. At least mine have. And Arnold saves Jamie, who is falling off a building. So he catches him, and then he flies up into the air. And it's like, wow! Turbo Man! But because Anakin Skywalker has such a big heart, he decides to give the Turbo Man doll, the special edition Turbo Man doll that he got from Arnold, to Sinbad. Because apparently Sinbad's kid needs it more. Hold
on.
Okay.
I just want to say something about this specific moment. I was really hoping that this was about to be the ending, and right when he gives the toy to him, he's like, "Tell him I said Merry Christmas," and then Arnold goes, "But I thought this was everything that you wanted." I thought he was going to be like, "It's okay, my dad is getting me a Turbo Man action figure," and I was like, "This is going to be the best ending for this movie that could have happened," and instead, it wasn't.
No.
And when we get to the actual end, like the last line, I have something to say about that as well.
Yeah.
I just want to say,
diatribe.
Again, same as with the thick accent, that mask is literally a hat with a thin piece of yellow plastic in front of your eyes. His whole mouth is open. This is like the Clark Kent, Superman, glasses on, Clark Kent, have no clue who that man is. He takes them off. He's Superman. Oh my God. How do you not recognize your own? If my dad was, I'm picturing my dad wearing a hat with a thin piece of yellow plastic in front. I would know it's my dad. He doesn't really even
100%.
have a distinctive factor like an accent or, being a
6'2" and
bodybuilder.
245 pounds.
Exactly. Like my dad, normal,
Pronounced chin.
average looking dude, I would still know it's him.
100%.
Like, that's just something I was like, y'all really that shook? Like, my last note was, what a reveal. Who he had no clue it was Arnie. Like,
yeah, so Jamie gives him the doll because he has his own Turbo Man right here, his dad. And I'm like, that's great, but your dad doesn't have 5 phrases that he could say, and he doesn't have real action moving arms. He has a job selling mattresses.
He's going to go back to that job.
Yeah.
Some catchphrases.
He's going to be an absentee father again.
Oh,
100%.
Back on his bullshit. Another
Right.
day, another disappointment.
So anyway, it's the end of the night. Rita Wilson and Arnold Schwarzenegger are getting ready for bed. And Rita Wilson is wearing an extremely, revealing nightgown for a children's movie.
Nightgowns are comfy. I'm going to say it right now.
It stood out as odd to me. I thought she'd be wearing Christmas pajamas or something. I don't know. But anyway, she's like, well, because seeing how much trouble you went to for Jamie's gift, I'm just wondering, what did you get me? Camera hard zooms in on Arnold's face, looking like, uh-oh, roll credits.
This is the stupidest fucking ending that could have possibly happened. Rita Wilson's character is just so normal and sane the whole time, and then after all of this, she just turns into crazy. What kind of jewelry did you get for me? What total bullshit.
Yeah,
she had such a good. The character was so good, and then right at the end, they were like, "No, she also sucks." Sorry.
Yeah, she doesn't really strike me as a materialistic character.
No.
My God, I'm dying. Anyway.
Disappointed.
Well, good thing that you waited to die until we finished Jingle All The Way. So, Anna.
Dan.
If you were on a desert island.
Yes.
And you were given the choice to bring one movie with you, is this the movie you would choose?
Absolutely not.
It's not good. This is not a good movie.
It's First of all, I want to clarify, I just wouldn't bring any Christmas movies on an island with me because I that's not my vibe. But no, it's not. That ain't it, my dude. That ain't it. Like, I love a cheesy holiday film from time to time. But I don't think this is going to be the cheesy holiday film that I reach for, you know?
It's similar to you. I not only love cheesy holiday films, I'm a little bitch for Christmas. I
know
love
you
Christmas.
are. You're my antithesis. Like, I don't hate Christmas, but it's not like, I'm not that basic about it, but I know you are because I'm basic about Halloween.
I am incredibly basic about fall and winter. Once pumpkin spice lattes are in, oh my gosh. Put a scarf and a white hat with one of those balls around me.
Christian girl fall, that's Dan.
Absolutely, that's me. So
it's unbelievable.
Whereas I'm emo girl
late
fall.
October and you're wearing a Santa hat. It's like, it's disturbing.
But this movie,
Dan.
it almost makes me hate Christmas.
No!
I know. It's that bad.
I love your holly jolliness, even though I'm not holly or jolly. I'm just emo.
Rome, as I'd say the non-Gentile of the group. This was
correct.
Wait, are you Jewish too?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
much mazel. Let's go.
Thank you.
Wait, did you say Jewish too? Who's the two referring to?
Oh, I don't know.
Asher.
I guess it was just. Are you Jewish? Edit out the two in post. Okay. Anyway. Not me. I'm not Jewish. I'm Catholic. Ugh. Anyway.
So this is definitely your first time seeing this.
100%.
Wait, can I ask a question?
I literally thought this was a joke when you sent me the poster of this movie. I was like, surely this is like pulled from some old SNL skit. This is not a real movie.
But it's real.
I have a question. Now, you're a Jewish man. Have you ever, this is probably a dumb question, so I apologize if this
Please
is dumb.
ask it anyways.
Did you ever, just watch a Christmas movie? Is that anything you do, or do you just,
sure.
not really?
I like those Tim Allen ones a lot as a child. Yeah, that was pretty much it, though. I wasn't a big fan of any. I don't think I could really remember, liking any other ones that specifically. I mean, Elf was, amusing because he ate, weird pasta or something at one point.
Yeah,
but
Elf is,
I don't think there were
classic.
other... I don't know if there were other Christmas movies. I remember very distinctly I was very entertained by the Tim Allen... What are they called? Is it just, the Santa Claus movies?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's the bit. Is it the Santa Claus?
Yeah, it's spelled with an E, which really messed me up because now every time I spell Santa Claus, I spell with an E, even though that's not how you spell it.
Which, just for the record, is just really ripping off an old Marx Brothers bit about the Santa Claus. Just a slightly different way to rip that off. But A Night at the Opera, if you haven't seen it, it's a great movie.
But so, I'd say from an outsider's perspective, what do you think of Jingle All The Way?
I was tremendously entertained. Not a good movie, but very entertaining. I took away something that nobody has mentioned, and that is that Arnold Schwarzenegger has a really weirdly natural ability to make his face look really freaky. With just one expression, he goes straight into horror movie levels of facial expression. Really freaky shit. I don't know. Really freaky.
He does. Absolutely. He could do the scream face so well.
He has a long head.
It's weird. Yeah. I mean, it's weird.
His head is very rectangular. Your head is not as long as Arnold Schwarzenegger's head is, Dan.
No, not quite. No.
It will be.
You got that long head.
One day. I'll finish growing.
You got that Frankenstein.
I didn't hate the movie. It was, it was not a good movie, but also, Dan knows this about me. I'm easily entertained.
You are the
I have
nicest.
the lowest bar.
You are the nicest film critic in the world.
I mean, you've been laughing at my jokes all night long, so yeah, you are very easily entertained.
I loved Ryan Reynolds in the Green Lantern. I love that movie.
Oh my goodness, controversial. Okay.
It took me 4 years to realize that it was bad, I think.
That's okay.
I
That's
think
okay.
And I'll still enjoy it too, for the record. Mainly because I really love Green Lantern. But also
is he your favorite
Ryan
superhero?
Reynolds. Maybe.
That's
I don't know.
my boyfriend Gage's favorite superhero too.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The whole ring thing is just kind of like weird and kind of cool.
I have a mug. Well, I don't have a mug. Gage has a mug that when you pour hot water into it, all the other Green Lanterns show up. I'm the only one who uses it, but you know.
Sounds bad.
On the mug, they don't like physically show up in your apartment. I just thought I should clarify.
I put that together.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. You never know.
Before we get into the last questions, I have some trivia. The Arnold Schwarzenegger once threatened the legislature of California when he was the governor. If they couldn't come up with a budget in time, he threatened to make them watch this movie.
Wow.
And they came up with a budget on time.
How many years after the release was that?
Well, so he was governor from 2003 to 2011. So at least 7.
So 7 to 15 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, at least he knows that it's not a great movie. You know, like
Yes.
he knows that this
Respect
is
for
not his
self-awareness.
finest work.
Joe Pesci was who they originally wanted to play Sinbad's role.
We love Joe Pesci, but also I would have not believed that he was like he's
A
old.
mailman.
A sociopathic mailman.
Yeah.
And if Arnold Schwarzenegger hadn't accepted the role, they were going to offer it to the Santa Claus, Tim Allen.
Oh.
He's my problematic fave.
And I think
Sorry.
the Santa Claus came out the year before this. If I
God, I love
correct.
Tim Allen.
That's really all the trivia there is about this movie. I think I read something about the director. He also directed the Flintstones movie.
With John Goodman?
Yeah.
Oh, love.
He directed that, and he wrote the 1997 Leave It to Beaver movie.
Dan.
Did you know there was a 97 Leave It to Beaver movie?
I bet you did.
I didn't.
Oh, you got some viewing for tonight.
I know. Well, he was also the creator and writer of the show The New Leave It to Beaver, which was an 80s revival of the show that had the original cast in it.
No thanks.
It ran for 102 episodes.
That's a really long time. That's longer than Hannibal. I think that's longer than Dexter. How many episodes does Dexter have?
It's longer than Stargate Atlantis.
That's true.
By 2 episodes, but still.
Okay. Rome, who's your favorite actor or actress?
Just like in
general.
In general?
In anyone, dead or alive?
It is longer than Dexter. Dexter only had 96 episodes, in case you were curious. I just finished Dexter.
That's tough. I feel like I just go through like phases.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Who you feeling right now, Rome?
I feel like I'll watch anything with like Adam Driver in it. There was like a phase where it was Jake Gyllenhaal, a brief phase where it was Miles Teller, just like Michael B. Jordan at one point. I'd still watch anything like Michael B. Jordan in it.
It's all you are hitting all of the hot guys.
I was gonna say you're.
Yeah, I like hot guys.
Oh my God! Just put me on blast. It's
I like hot guys.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Like.
Yeah, you know.
So,
like hot dudes, you know?
Rome.
Would Jingle All The Way be better, worse, or the same with Adam Driver as Arnold Schwarzenegger's role?
No, it wouldn't be. And I'll tell you why. Adam Driver couldn't pull off like some of the things that Arnold pulls off.
Mm-hmm.
And hear me out, because I know that like as a baseline thing, it just sounds stupid, right? Adam Driver is too good of an actor for this movie.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Okay,
The
I'll
plot
allow it.
is just nonsensical, and I genuinely believe that he wouldn't be able to go through with it. I think he would. step away.
What
You're not
about
trying to keep it in the Star Wars family, though? I mean, that is his grandfather that would be playing his son.
It's true. There's some weird shit going on there. Yeah.
what about Adam Driver as Phil Hartman's role?
Absolutely. Sorry,
As the
Rome.
neighbor.
100%. 100%. That's something to do. Yeah, 100%. But to be frank, I don't think that's a particularly hard role. to play.
No.
Like
It'd be
this
fun,
guy
though.
who like fronts as like good neighbor and is really just like a creepy perv. Easy. That's just like my regular life. You know what I mean?
Again, if you want to support our therapy sessions, give to our Patreon. So my favorite actor is Jimmy Stewart, which shouldn't surprise anyone.
It doesn't.
And would this movie be better, worse, or the same with, I think, the recently deceased Jimmy Stewart at this time as Sinbad? It would be better. 100%. Do you know what this is? It's a mail bomb. You see? I got a mail bomb here. Don't test me.
That's great. Yeah, I feel like that monologue about the like the toy that his dad never got him would have been pretty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I buy that. Yeah.
It could do all these things. It could shoot. Bang, 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 bang.
7 guns in one.
And Anna, would this
Yes.
movie be better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as Arnold?
Hang on 1 second. I'm looking something up in
Are
response
you looking up how
to
old
this?
JTT was?
Yes.
Okay. I think he'd be like 17 or something, right? Because this was the same year
Yeah, it
as I'll Be
was.
Home for Christmas.
So that image that I sent you in the group chat, that's how he'd look. Okay. Now, what was the character you said you wanted him to play?
I said Arnold, but really, choose your own adventure.
Oh, okay. If he was Arnold, he'd be way too young to have a kid that old. Or unless he, like, was a teen
think.
father.
You'd
I mean,
think.
like, physiologically, he
We
could
should
do
probably
it.
stop here. I'll put it out there. But you can keep going if you want.
I'm just saying, like, if he wanted, not necessarily with Rita, like, maybe he's just, a young,
Yeah, I shouldn't have. Yeah,
a
go for it,
young
try.
father. Dan, I'm going to be honest with you. We're about to get some of this equal level comedy from him come next week. So I'm going to be bold and say that I absolutely think he could do it. You know what? I think he could do it better because it would be smarmier. And also I love him because it would be about a foot shorter. So I'm very excited.
That's bold. That is a bold statement you're
I
making there.
absolutely think it could happen. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes on multiple occasions.
So, lastly, on a scale of 1 to 5 cookies being currently put down, what would you give this movie, Rome?
What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, it's the put that cookie down!
Oh,
On a scale of 1
okay.
to 5 of cookies currently being placed down per
So
Arnold
1
Schwarzenegger's.
cookie is worse than 5 cookies
Yes.
being placed down.
Yes.
I'd give it like two cookies. Entertaining,
cookies.
bad but entertaining.
Okay. I'd go 1.5. Anna?
2.
Give it a 5. Oh.
I wanted to give it a 3 because I'm too nice. I give it 2.
If the star of the movie was threatening it to state legislators, then I think it's safe to give it a 4 rating.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. I enjoyed it because it was stupid,
Yeah,
I'll say
100%.
that. Like,
I will say, I laughed at basically all of Phil Hartman's performance because he was treating this movie exactly as serious as it deserved to be treated.
not at
Absolutely.
all.
Yeah.
Correct.
I honestly think he didn't learn his lines until immediately before they shot, and he was like, okay, first take,
Honestly,
first
mood.
thought.
Mood.
I just don't learn my lines.
Dan!
So, so that is it for Jingle All The Way, mercifully. Thank you for joining us, Rome. We will have
Yes,
you on
thank
again when we do all 47 Fast and Furious movies.
Yes.
Probably
Love
when
Looking
Fast
forward to it.
9 comes out eventually.
Get your NOS energy drinks. Am I right?
If
Absolutely.
if you want to find the show on social media, you could do so on Facebook and Twitter @and in conclusion, on Instagram @in conclusion podcast. If you want to support the show, you can do so by subscribing and rating and leaving a review on iTunes, or giving to our Patreon at patreon.com/inconclusion. Rome, if you want people to find you on the internet or something that you do on the internet, if you want to shout out anything, this is your time.
If you live in Milwaukee, buy some beer from Gathering Place Brewing Company. Best beer in the city, baby.
You can't see it, but he's smiling right now.
That's right.
Wait, what's it called? I'm looking it up.
Gathering Place Brewing Company.
Okay.
If you want to find me on the internet, I'm on Twitter @DanO'Keefe86, on Instagram @DLRAAR, or my blog, which I recently
Good
updated.
blog, by the way.
Thank
Good
you.
blog.
Thank
100%.
you. Dan,
no jokes. Actually,
Dan-O'Keefe.com. Thank you.
Yep.
And Anna, where can they find you?
Is everybody buckled up?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. You can find me on Instagram @AutomusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter @AutobotsRollout, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O in Roll and the O in Out are zeros.
You got that, Ro?
Did you write that down?
Seatbelt unbuckled halfway through.
I told you! You have to buckle
I
up.
buckled it, just the force was too great for it.
Honestly, just look up some Transformers puns with the last name Otto. You'll find me.
Enough tries and they'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
We will be back next week, thirsting over Jonathan Taylor Thomas in I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Dan, I can't wait. Literally.
So get ready for that. Are you crying?
Dan, I'm so... Not really. I'm just so excited. Thirst Fest 2020. I'm so ready. Get out your bleached hair, your frosted tips, and your glued on Santa suits, and your crush on Jessica Biel. We're doing it. I'm so excited.
Well, Anna passes away and gets reincarnated in the past week.
I'm dead.
We'll be back next week. Same In Conclusion time, same In Conclusion channel. In the meantime, everybody stay safe, have fun, put on your Santa hats no matter where you go, because I'll find you if you don't. Bye-bye.
Bye. My mom was like, you can stay up late tonight, have some fun. I was like, first of all, my idea of a good time is as soon as this podcast is done, putting on my pajamas. I thought about putting on my pajamas to record, but I was afraid to get roasted. So I didn't. And climbing into bed and not talking to anybody until tomorrow. I'm so sleepy.